Hi, everyone. Welcome to this week's session of Marketing Mastermind. This week, we are talking all about online advertising, and we have an awesome expert guest coming back. And so we have a lot of great content to share with you. But before we get into the meat of everything, I just want to bring up your action items. Obviously, like we keep talking about, a big part of this course is making sure that you're staying on track with the action items that you need to in order to move your business forward. So after we have these sessions, you should be deciding what 3 to 5 things you need to complete that week to help you stay on track, whether it was particularly something that we talked about in the session, or it's something that's just helping you move forward with that goal that you have set for yourself to complete by the next 8 weeks. Make sure that you are keeping track of what those goals are and actually completing them every single week. As always, if you have any questions or if you need help with anything, you can always reach out to me either through email or on the Facebook group. So I just want to make sure that you guys are continuing to move forward on all of these action items. So this week's session is we're talking about online advertising. So where should you be spending your dollars when it comes to advertising on Facebook and Google, anywhere that you're deciding to play online and try to get new business? So, to help us with that topic, I have asked again my fun, super awesome expert guest, Evan Weber, to come back. You heard him on a couple of the other sessions, and as you know already, he is very experienced with online marketing, online advertising, over 15 years of experience in e-commerce and digital marketing. And works with a number of different businesses from brick and mortar to completely online. So I'm happy to have him back. We work together on a number of projects, and online advertising is something that we do with some of the clients that we work on together. So I'm excited to have him on board, and we have lots of great content to share. So Evan, thank you so much for participating today.
Thanks for having me, Kate. Very excited to be here.
All right, so let's dive right in and start talking about some of the ways that these businesses can do some online advertising. Evan's awesome because one of the things that he does in working with the smaller businesses, which I know a lot of you are small businesses on the call, is he knows how to stretch a budget. So where should you start advertising first to start to see some return and get excited and get a little bit more confident to start spending a little bit more dollars because you know that it's actually working effectively. So I'm excited to walk through some of what those different areas are. So
Okay.
there's a lot of different ways that you can invest in your local marketing. Um, so we're going to go through what some of those are. And it doesn't I mean, obviously you all know that when companies or when people are searching for different products or services, where are they going? Most of the time they're going online. They're going on Google and trying to figure out where they want to go, where they're gonna what um, what businesses they're looking for, and people are Googling it. So when it comes to Google, I mean, right now local businesses should absolutely be spending money on on Google or Bing. Because again, people are obviously going to the search engines to find things. These are just some stats that are compelling to make you guys see and understand the importance of spending on Google. And one thing, a lot of times when with small businesses, I think that we get a little scared, like, oh, I don't have the money to spend on Google, but a little bit can go a long way as long as you're really targeted. Um, a couple things, obviously, we've talked about when we talked about the website, making sure your website's mobile. People are searching on their phones more than ever. So 50% of mobile users visit a store within a day after conducting a search. And 68% of consumers on smartphones use the get directions or call button right from their phone. So obviously, this is why it's so important for your website to be mobile. And again, just these ads, people are on their phones constantly searching for things, whether they're in their car or with their friends searching for a restaurant or something to do that day. So Googling or spending some money on Google can be really a cost-effective way to get new customers and clients.
Sure. I agree. Google is still the number one traffic driver on the internet for new customer acquisition for products and services. So you need really good strategy with both the paid advertising and also the organic or free advertising, SEO as they like to call it. So you need to have a really good, really strong search engine strategy that encompasses Google and probably Bing to a lesser extent, because there's definitely traffic on Bing and Yahoo as well. So a lot of times companies can stretch their dollar further on through Bing ads, which is Bing's pay-per-click search engine, and it goes on top of the search results in Bing and Yahoo. So you need to have a really nice strategy and not too crazy. The nice thing about search engine advertising or online in general is you can spend a finite budget. If you want to spend $10 a day or $5 a day or $100 a day, you can set your budget to spend just so much that you're willing to spend. And then your keyword phrases that you're bidding on you can set the bids that you're willing to pay for clicks on those phrases. And we're going to get into that in a second. But it's really important to have a good search engine market strategy for your company.
So Evan, would you recommend if you do have a smaller budget, would you recommend starting your ads on Bing or going just to Google, or does it matter what kind of industry? Like, what would your advice be for a small business?
Well, that's a great question. The nice thing about both Google and Bing is you can target locally by city or zip code. You can target within a radius of a certain city. So if you just wanted to target Delray Beach or Boca, Fort Lauderdale, or Miami, you can target people, for instance, looking for a florist in this particular zip code, or um, a fitness center, or a spa, or whatever it may be, or a cupcake store, whatever it may be. You can target very specifically just to come up in that city for your keyword phrases. For instance, like this, we've searched florist in 33483, which is a zip code in Delray. So you can see this first ad here is a paid ad, and it's nice because they have a review right here, a review rating, which people love reviews. So reviews are very, very important. And then you can also customize all of this content right here. These are called site links, and they're also site ad extensions, or what they're referred to as. You can even put your phone number in here, and they're sort of not putting their phone number. But over here, see, they're using their phone number, and they have reviews. So that's nice. And one of the reasons why this is so important to run these paid ads is because you can put your company right at the top or down the right side instantaneously without worrying what your SEO rankings are for Google. As you scroll down, you get into these are the local placements. So you need to also have that going on with a Google page for your business. And then of course there's reviews again, and reviews are hugely important to people's decision whether or not to do business with you or even inquire with you. So you need to make sure to have a really good strategy for acquiring and collecting the reviews from your happy customers, and encouraging them to post them so they show up here. For instance, if we went here, this will show you a map of where these locations are, what the reviews look like. I will never this isn't a good review, and it's number 2, so they need to pile good ones on top of that to manage that so people aren't seeing that review. But in general, people do expect to see some not so rosy reviews at times. It's just part of life. It's part of reality and the customer experience. In fact, if they're too good, if they're all 5-star, this place is amazing, they could even get suspicious that they're not real reviews. So it's nice to have a mix of reviews. Obviously, you want most of them to be 5s, so people will be very excited to do business with you. But in a realistic scenario, that isn't always achievable. But you can see how important the gold stars are to making the listings look good. I mean, So yeah, I mean, what do you think, Kate? So these real quick, these listings down here, these are the organic listings, what are called the organics. This is your quote unquote SEO rankings for this particular phrase. So you can see Delray Beach Florist is number one organically. So they're going to get the lion's share of people that scroll down there. But as you can see, this person's getting the lion's share of the clicks because of their number one place. So you can bet that they're getting most of the clicks when people are looking for a florist in the area.
And that's funny.
And then you can see Yelp. Yep.
I always ask people, like in presentations and stuff, because people always ask the question, well, isn't it better to, or do people really click on the ads or do they go right for the organic rankings? Because you obviously know that people are paying for the ads. And it's always kind of like
Mhm.
a 50-50 split with people that say, that they wouldn't really click on the ads because they'd rather go directly for the person that did it on a more organic way, got ranked organic.
Well, I've also heard that, but it's a flawed argument in my opinion because, even if a person says, "Oh, well, I don't click on paid ads." Well, most people do click on paid ads.
Yeah.
Um, you know, a large majority of people, otherwise Google wouldn't make so much money. So that's basically built their business around people clicking paid ads. So when you look at the statistics, now some companies will have a paid ad up here, and they'll also rank number one organically, down
Hmm.
here. So so that's another way to get more placement on the page, taking up more real estate on the page, as it were. And like as you can see, Yelp is the number two organic result here. So that's why it's really important to have a well optimized Yelp page as well. So this is a really nice one they've got. All 5 stars, 22 reviews. This is what you want. This is a really nice page. You got some nice images in here, and this is just something that any business can sign up for and launch their Yelp page, and you can see that it pulls a really good organic ranking. So you can bet that Tamara is getting some free traffic out of that. So that's something any local business would want to emulate.
And the
Um,
nice part about the
and
ads too is like if because it does take more time obviously to get ranked organically while you're waiting to kind of get your organic rankings up, you can start doing advertising so that you are being seen on the first page. So that's something that you can do as part of like a strategy, a longer
well,
term strategy with your keywords.
of course, because getting ranked number one in Google organically is not something that happens overnight. In fact, it can take months, if not years, to achieve that. And so you can't bank on that, but you can bank on coming up here at the top or down the right side. So, and you can put a budget on that. You can measure how many phone calls are coming in, things of that nature to see how well it's working. We'll get into that later. But, you know, this is where the majority of purchasers come from on the internet. So you need a really good strategy. And Bing is very similar. It's basically the same thing, and it runs on Bing and Yahoo at the top and down the side. So if we were to search florist Delray Beach, for example, you can see here's an ad right here, another ad here, ad here, ad here. They run 4 ads at the top, and then these are the organic listings down here, and these are their local placement pages, which is they're basically emulating Google, exactly what they're doing.
Hmm.
Why not? Google is the leader in the space. And so they've perfected the concept, and Bing has less traffic though. There's less search volume. It's more like an 80-20 thing with Google and Bing. But they do have traffic, and it is worthwhile, and the traffic is usually cheaper on Bing in Bing ads. It runs on Bing and Yahoo than it is in Google AdWords. So your dollar will stretch further there typically, but both need to be leveraged usually to have a comprehensive search engine strategy. You need to be on both
Hmm.
paid and organically doing well and working on those things over time. Um, but let's talk because how do you find the right keywords,
Yeah.
right? It's a quandary. So Google has a really nice tool, and this is called the Google Keyword Planner tool, and it's very easy to use. You can even enter your website, and it'll pull keywords from your website and tell you how many people are searching those keyword phrases and give you some idea of what kind of search volume there is out there and what you can expect to pay. I mean, let's put in something like, oh, I don't know, Kmart. Let's see what Kmart pulls. And it'll probably be a pretty wide variety of phrases. But as you can see, their Kmart.com's pushing a lot of kids furniture right now and other types of furniture. And they have many things for sale on the site, but this gives you an idea of the monthly searches, how competitive they are, which is other companies advertising under the same phrases, and the suggested bid to basically get some action. And you can even add them to your quote unquote plan, which is a way to plan out what keyword phrases you're going to use. Then if you drill down, it really shows you exactly which phrase, the monthly search volume, so you can get some seasonal data on different search phrases and see at what point of the year people are searching more, so you can plan for that. And so it's really nice. They give you a lot of data to work with, so you can make some informed decisions.
Yeah, because
Now,
I mean, that's the keywords that you're choosing are extremely important in your ads because it's not like you're just throwing up ads and just hoping that people click on them. You need to really be specific on what you want to be ranked for and when people are searching. So this is something that obviously the keyword planner that Evan's showing you is a way to for you to see who who is actually searching for what types of keywords in your industry and like making them really specific and also using long tail keywords. So the more that people are using Google, we're getting really
mhm,
long-winded with our searches. So it's not always just, florist Delray Beach. It's, best florist Delray Beach or best florist for bridal showers, different specific things if you happen to be a little bit more niche specific. And sometimes those more niche specific you can get ranked a little bit easier depending on how many other people are using that keyword.
right. Well, this right here shows you. So this is I search for florist and then I location based Miami. So this right here is going to show you people and what they're searching for. So you can see some of these things have a lot of volume, like flowers, 3,600 searches in 1 month, and then some have 20 searches. But one thing and then it tells you kind of what the average price click you can expect to pay, and this isn't cheap. I mean, this is per click, so you have to be doing a really good job on the website at encouraging them to call or place an order on the website, whatever you're going for. And we got into it, I believe, on another session, but they also drive in calls to these ads as well. So when someone searches for flowers in Miami and they're on their phone, it'll pop a button that says, call this business, and then you pay Google per call. And you can run campaigns that just drive in calls without even driving clicks to your website, or you can do both. So it's really nice for local business when you can drive in calls, and it tells you how many calls have been driven in.
Hmm.
So that's a great way to get your phone ringing and with interested people. And these are the most interested people you could have. These are the best people you want to advertise to. These are the people that are most likely to do business with you because they're searching for a product or service. Those are always the best converting type of traffic out there on the internet. So it's just underlines the fact that you need to be leveraging this channel and really trying to make it work well over time, whether it's in-house or with an agency or whatever the case may be. It should be way up at the top of the list of important things. Now, one thing I should mention is that as you can see, there's 44 phrases just related to flowers, and then as you branch out. So what happens is if you were to reserve all of these phrases in your account, okay, and they were each getting a little bit of traffic a day, that's going to add up very quickly, and it's going to spend a lot of money. So a lot of companies make the mistake of they just advertise under too many phrases, and it drives up the cost. And if you're not converting amazingly on the traffic, it's going to really charge you a lot of money. So you have to be careful. In fact, usually I recommend starting with just a handful of phrases, the most targeted phrases. Buy flowers, maybe, get well flowers, birthday flowers, things that a flower shop would, would sell off of that type of search. And then once you see some effectiveness there, then you can start adding some of these other phrases to the mix, and it'll expand the amount of traffic you could possibly drive to your site. But again, it drives up the cost as well, the more phrases you use. So you have to be really careful with the number of phrases being used. But you can see what kind of potential this has to drive a ton of traffic to a flower website or a florist website. So, these are, all these searches combined, there's probably just under flowers, and that's not even including florists and other phrases related. I mean, there's probably 20,000 searches a month that you could vie for those people. There's florist, flower delivery, then it gets into gift baskets, things like that, wedding florist, local flower shop. This tool will give you a really good grasp on what people are searching for related to your niche, so you can leverage it properly and make those determinations of what phrases you should be using, and then measure, and then once they show effectiveness, increase. Or if they're not working, you try other phrases. If they're completely not working, then it's a website issue, and your website just isn't effective enough, and you need to work on it, make it better. But like I said, a lot of local companies, yeah, they use the tool to drive and call.
And I was just
So
going to say, a lot of times when we're doing Google ads, we're looking at, or any kind of ad, really, it always comes down to conversion, and it comes down to where are you driving people. If it's a phone call, who's answering the phone, who's responsible for closing, or getting the lead. Same thing with a landing page, or whatever page you're driving people to. Um, I see some companies drive people directly to the homepage of the website, which doesn't make sense, because if the ad's specifically about a one particular product or a service, I mean, you really need to be driving them to an effective page that they either need to call or sign up or get their email or whatever, so that you're actually going to be making money off of your ads, or at least
couldn't be more accurate.
generating leads.
You should never send all of your traffic to your homepage. You should have pages, sub-pages on your site created for specific phrases. Like if you were advertising under wedding flowers, you take them to a page all about wedding flowers. If you're advertising simply flowers, a page, and the ad copy should also reflect the search phrase. So you need to have that continuity between search phrase, ad copy, and landing page on your website to really do it properly. And then, of course, you need a lot of calls to action on the website, so people will be picking up the phone, inquiring, and even a pop-up. Pop-ups are great for collecting emails. Save 10% by entering your name and email. That's a very common tactic that will build your email list off of this, because when you're spending money to drive traffic to your website, you want to make sure your site is what they call sticky as possible, that it has an email pop-up. It has follow us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, cooking their browser for retargeting ads to them later. So there's many things you can do to squeeze the most out of the traffic that you're paying for. And those things are super important. Otherwise, you'll be underwhelmed with what it does, flat out. So I always tell companies, don't advertise, don't spend a penny on advertising until your website's ready to capitalize on the traffic. And that's the process. It happens over time by making improvements, but you should have someone review it that knows what they're looking at and can make those recommendations before you go spending a bunch of money in Google, for instance. Otherwise, you'll be very underwhelmed, and you'll think it will never work, and it'll sour the whole experience. And that's what happens a lot of times. So you have to be careful with that. And that's why you should do it very deliberately and very methodically, with just a few phrases, going to the right landing page, and then build out from there. Mm-hmm. Well, we sort of talked about these last 2 points, but as far as you write about for organic search, right, that's where a tool like this, if you have a gym website, let's say you have like a Gold's Gym or slash fitness or one of these type of gyms, and you know, by getting this kind of data on how often people are searching these phrases, you can start to build pages and include these phrases in your website copy. The more these phrases are included in your website copy, the more free traffic those pages could generate for you. And you can gain multiple rankings on certain phrases on the same pages. Your home page is going to should rank for your core phrases. Let's say it's gym in Miami. And then your sub pages, then you could start targeting things like local gyms or nearest gym, garage gym, whatever it may be, or personal training at a gym, and then you can build a page on your site just about that and include a lot of copy about personal trainers in Miami and finding a great personal trainer in the different areas that you service, and that's what will bring in your organic traffic, your free traffic, having a really well optimized website. And the tool like this will guide that process. Like if we back up to these phrases, these are everything related to gyms people are searching for. So theoretically you could have a page for each one of these, gym equipment, fitness, things like women's gym, Gold's Gym, men's gym, because people are searching this stuff, and if they're searching for it, you need to have content on your site reflecting it, or you won't come up in the free traffic, the organic results. And if you don't come up, obviously they'll never find you unless you're, pay per clicking it with these phrases. But you want to be doing a good job of SEOing your website with phrases and with good copy that includes these phrases. That's how you get more free traffic. Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's then talk now that we've kind of gone over the keywords and what you should be focusing on, how to create those, and what you should be focusing on in your ads. What should people measure? Because obviously that's really important. If you're spending money on advertising, you really need to know what you're measuring so that you know what's working, what's not, what you should continue to do, what you should stop doing. So let's talk about
Absolutely.
measurements.
Well, cost per click, that's basically just measuring how many clicks are coming in and what they're costing you. Okay. So that's a measurement, that's like a front end measurement. That's not necessarily related to how well it's performing for you, but it's merely counting the clicks, things like that, and how many interested people you're driving to your website. And then of course, Kate, you've done things with coupon codes and dedicated phone numbers and things like that. Talk about a little bit about why that's important.
So any kind of ad that you're setting up, having some kind of a code or a phone number or something is important so that you know which things are working. So you might be running a couple different ads and now you can test them. So you can run different ads using different coupons, maybe you used different copy in one of the ads or a different image. You want to know which one's performing better. So being able to track those by a coupon code or a dedicated phone number to see how many people actually called in to, from that one particular ad. This is hugely important so you know where people are finding you and how they're, what's actually working, and then figure out what's converting so that you know where to spend those advertising dollars. So now, I mean, it's so easy now to get a free number or obviously to figure out a coupon code for each of these individual ads. So there's no reason why everything that you do, shouldn't have some kind of tracking component to it. It's the same thing if you're
Right,
doing
exactly.
even some of the print advertising you're still doing something on the print advertising so you can track how well that's working as well, in a magazine. Same thing. Obviously, it's easier with online using a code or even using Bitly, making your links smaller on bitly.com So you can go on and see how many people click through there as well. There's so many tools you can use now, so everything you set
Well,
up.
I wanted to show them Ring Boost because this is also nice. You can reserve a vanity 800 number, so it can also help you track. You can have multiple vanity numbers and put them in one in Google, one in Bing, one on Facebook, one in your emails, one on your billboards, So vanity numbers are nice because memorable. So if you did
Yeah.
reserve this type of number, 41855 florist, you can put that on the top of your website, and it can encourage people to call. And this is a really nice service. So for a couple $100, you can reserve a nice number, and you can use it in your marketing endeavors. The other site, so Call Source is really nice because they lease numbers, tracking numbers to use in your different campaigns. They're not vanity numbers, but they're numbers that for a few bucks each, you can put, one in Google, one in Bing, one in Facebook, one in an email campaign, or you can use multiple numbers on these different platforms if you have multiple campaigns running and you want to track each one. Like for instance, a florist in Miami versus wedding flowers in Miami. So you can see how many calls each one is bringing in to the business. And so something like Call Source will allow you to measure exactly how many calls are coming. And this can be used for print, like you said, print campaigns, magazines, billboards, television, radio,
Hmm.
and it can also be used online.
Are
So
those
call tracking is very important in
is,
measuring advertising success.
is this a
Hmm.
monthly subscription or one time?
Oh, it's monthly. It's monthly. It's these type of things are usually monthly. They're rarely one time, unless you're out and out buying the vanity number or something like that. Otherwise, these are monthly services that you know, and things like lead scoring to see how hot the lead is, how long people stay on the phone,
Hmm.
how many of the phone calls convert to sales. So they have all these other services, uh, all these little programs you've created that will help you leverage call tracking, because call tracking is more than just how many calls did this particular number bring in. It's so much more than that, and you need to leverage it if you're running advertising campaigns out there in the world. You definitely need to be leveraging a thing like this. So let's see. And Bitly real quick. So Bitly's nice because it will actually let you track how many clicks are coming from a particular link. So if you're running, let's say you're running a Facebook ad, for instance, and you want to see about an upcoming event, and you're throwing a little money behind it, you're promoting it, and it goes to your event page on your website. So you take that URL and you put it into Bitly, and it creates what's called a shortened URL, similar to this one right here, and it'll tell you how many clicks it got from Facebook, where those people live, how long they stayed on the site, what browser they used, all kinds of interesting data. I can actually show you real quick kind of data it shows you.
Yeah, this is so great. I love Bitly.
Right, it's really awesome, and they're a very technologically advanced company. It's just a bunch of coders working over there. So it shows you, for instance, how many people clicked on the link, when they clicked on it. It gives you a graph of, this is when it was promoted, so it got more clicks then. Where they came from, these clicks came from LinkedIn, unknown, that's probably emails, and who shared the link. I guess it was me. So, these are all the links I put in Bitly recently, and it's just nice because and you can actually brand it too. That's really cool. You can actually have your own custom Bitly URL. Like if it was a flower shop, for instance, it could be like flowers.ly or something slash and then your link. So you can actually brand. It doesn't have to be Bitly. That's what they give you for free. But I have one called Affly, AFF.ly, because I'm involved in the affiliate marketing industry. So I just bought that. So my links would say aff.ly, and it kind of goes with the niche. So that's kind of
Mhm.
cool.
Awesome.
Um, Coupon codes, real quick, is they're important because people like getting deals. And for instance, you're running an ad on Facebook and you say, mention coupon code Facebook, get 20% off, then you know that that coupon led to X number of sales, people using that code, and you can attribute them back to your Facebook campaign and measure your social media advertising. We'll get into that next. But it's a really good, coupon codes are a phenomenal way to track campaigns. That's a nice segue into
Into
Facebook
Facebook
marketing.
marketing. And as most of you know, Facebook has really turned into a pay to play platform. So when you're putting content out on your Facebook page, in order for people to see it, you need to invest some dollars into either boosting posts or doing some ads. What's nice is that it's super cost effective because you can target so specifically to your audience. And we'll go into exactly what that is, but they've made it just so amazing to get exactly to be able to have your ad seen to exactly your target market. And I mean, from zip code to what they like doing to other pages they like. So Evan's pulling up some examples of some things because
Well, this is something we talked about the other day. Vogue posts upwards of 200 posts a day on their Facebook, okay, which is I would consider a pretty high volume. And part of the reason they do that is so they come up in the feed more often, and so they don't have to, they don't boost what's called boosting every post, but they still get a lot of engagement. This post 12 minutes ago, they got 98 people to engage with the post, and they didn't pay, put any money behind it. So, that's just a strategy to get more organic action going on Facebook. Because, like you said, when you don't pay to promote the post, it doesn't get much action at all. When you do, it does get some action. We're going to talk about that next. But part of the reason why they post often is so they can tap into the users that are on it in that specific instance, and it's a good organic posting strategy in my opinion. Mm-hmm.
So let's go into, with Facebook, there's a lot of different ways to advertise. Obviously, you can do your Facebook ads to go and like your page. There's boosted posts, sweepstakes, taking advantage of offers, custom audiences, which is awesome because you actually get to advertise directly to people who already like you that you might have on your email list, um, retargeting and events. So let's pull up some.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, most people know that. I mean, you guys see Facebook ads all the time. Some of you may or may not have actually participated in some or tried to get more likes to your page. But there's so many. I mean, they give you a number of different options now to reach your customers.
So here's newsfeed, an ad in the newsfeed, and what's nice about this is you can see how much real estate it takes up on the page. I
Mhm.
mean, literally, it takes up the entire, from the header down here, it literally takes up the entire, you know, vertical space there. This over here is an ad on the right, but this is a really impressive ad because, and I think the reason they used that type of image is so it would take up that much space. So that's really a brilliant idea, in my opinion. You want to take up as much space in the newsfeed as possible, and so they've got their link here, and this is a shortened link. This is similar. Let's just check it out and see where it goes. But this is, they're tracking every post, they're tracking every ad, and they're, specifically seeing, you know, asking me for a survey, which is a nice idea. And what they do is they're running this type of ad at me for ETFs, which is an investment product, and they're thinking I might, want to do an investment. So this is why they're advertising to me like that. And it's typical to, they're probably advertising to people that are my age range, are, males, people that might invest. But, there's so many ways to target on Facebook. It's mind-boggling, but there are certain things that work really well. This is just an example of some data that this is the ads manager, and it shows you kind of like what you're spending and things of that nature. And then when you want to go and create a new ad, they make it really easy to do that. These are all the ways you can advertise right here. So you can boost your posts, and you can also do this on the page itself when you're making the post. Actually, I'll show you that real quick on one of my pages. So let's say you have a post on the page already. This is just my agency page. So I already have this post on here. But if I wanted to, and see, only 41 people saw this, and this was a few days ago. So if I wanted a bunch of people to see this, I would click boost. Oh, that's not nice. And it looks like it's, let me refresh. Not sure why it's, buggy Facebook. Usually isn't, but sometimes it is. Yeah, they won't let me, must be an issue with their ads manager. So that's not good. That's not going to make Facebook any money. Try this one. Yeah. Well, we won't dwell on that then. But over here, you can also do it from here. So if I wanted to boost that post, I would find my page, and then it's going to pull up the posts, gives you the posts that you can choose from. So there's the same one that I was getting ready to post, but it wouldn't let me. And I can go and make and boost this post in a multitude of ways. You can do it to an audience, like Kate said, an email list you may have, or in by location as well, which is nice, by demographics, interest level. So if I wanted to target everyone that was into business, for instance, and people into advertising, I could do that. And the nice thing is it shows you how many people you can possibly reach with the ad, and you can narrow it down and make it more finite, like locally targeted. Then you put in your dollar amount, what you're looking for, engagements, reach, impressions, clicks. Usually I do clicks so I can really measure it. And then you come down here and customize your ad. It's already there. It's just boosting this post, so there's nothing to really customize. Place order, I'm done. I literally just placed it out on Facebook in about 2 minutes. So that's boosting, and a lot of them are they're very similar. They're all very quick. You can promote your page. This means just getting more likes on your page. So a lot of companies do that, and it's really smart because with the targeting options they give you, you can target people that are into romance for a flower shop. Okay, you can target people that are getting married or engaged, people that make over $100,000 a year. There's so many wonderful ways to target. You can even target for installation of apps. If you have an app, you can get downloads from Facebook mobile on the phone. It'll be a one-click download of your app, and you can see what it costs you per download. This is something new that's local. This is people who are near your business. So when people are driving by your business, they'll get an ad on their phone that says, you just drove by Delray Flower Shop, 10% off. Pull in, walk-in customers get 10% off. And if you're in the market for something like that, you might just walk in and make a purchase. So that's kind of cool. And then there's event advertising, offers, like Kate said. Offers are, and then video views. This is probably the hottest thing, and this is probably the hottest thing in Facebook advertising is advertising videos. So you put in your video, you put in your budget, upload your video, and it tells you how many people saw your video, tells you all kinds of how many people shared it. So promoting a video on Facebook, and people love watching videos.
Yeah.
So if you have a nice little commercial or something like that, or a video about, it could be anything really. Trying to think of a page that has a video, but these are pages that I manage. that I have management on. That's why they're popping up here. So you can't just advertise under anyone's page. You have to be an administrator of the page and on the advertising account in order to set up these campaigns.
And when
Um,
doing a video, Evan, do you tell your clients like a specific time frame? Like, is it like 4 minutes or less, or 3 minutes, or is
it
there?
definitely should be a minute to 2 minutes, but it could be longer. It depends who it is and what it is. But generally, people have short attention spans. So, but theoretically, it could be 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes. It depends what it is. Maybe you're a theater and you create, you record a performance, and then you want to share one of the songs from the performance or one of the acts from the play, and just share that with people and advertise it to either fans of the page or people that aren't fans yet. And that's also the nice thing about Facebook advertising is not only can you engage with the fans, and these are people who have liked your page, the fans and their friends, or people who are not following you on Facebook that are a targeted audience, might be in this particular zip code, people that are into theater, let's say you're a theater company, people that are into theater and plays. You can target those people with your video, and they may just like it, which your friends will see, and they may just like your page, which
Mhm.
increases your likes on your page, and you can market to those people later, engage with them later. So using videos is definitely very hot right now in Facebook, and video in general is pretty hot right now in marketing and advertising. So it's just another medium. And Kate, I know you do stuff with video, so when companies are creating videos, it gives them an avenue to really get it out there once they've created it.
Yes, I'm a
Hmm.
big fan of video.
Exactly. Well, we sort of covered this one, right?
Yep, yep. We talked
Um,
about Facebook ads. Um,
hmm.
Obviously, lots of
And
different.
these are, some examples over here on the right. Um, and like she was saying with the audiences, I'll show you real quick an audience. So just
This stuff
let's
is
dive
cool
in real
because
quick.
being able to, so Evan's going to show you how you actually upload and create a custom audience. But what's nice about this is if you have a specific offer that you're running, whether it's a discount on something or it's something that with your product or service, and people already know you, they're already on your email list. You want them to see the ad. Though you probably have a better chance of seeing those people actually take advantage of it. The ads that you're running for maybe getting new people to like your page, that's going to be a different kind of ad. So whatever ad you're going for, you have to really know what the offer is or what the purpose behind the ad is so that you know how to target it. I mean, Facebook allows you to target so specifically. So make sure you're putting the right kinds of messages in front of the different audiences, whether they're new and they're being introduced to you or they're already on your email list. That is really going to depend on the copy and the content you use to engage each audience.
Right. I mean, let's say you have a customer list of, let's say you have a 5,000 person customer list, email list from the past, people that you've done business with. So it's very simple. You just come in here and create customer list, you're creating an audience, and they also let you target people that visit your website back on Facebook with running ads. So that's called retargeting, or they just kind of call it visitor targeting, website traffic targeting. And you can target people that visit specific pages with ads. So if they went to a page on your site about wedding flowers, you could target them later on Facebook, back on Facebook, with ads with wedding flowers in them, and a deal for wedding flowers type thing. So that's nice. And so let's say you have a customer list. I mean, you can even literally copy and paste all your emails in here, and then it'll actually index that with Facebook, and it'll tell you how many people in your customer list are on Facebook. And so usually it's some fraction. If say the list is 5,000, there might be, I would say, 2 to 3,000 that are actually on Facebook. So this is a list. This is a list of people I'm targeting that I uploaded on there. And so then once you upload it, then you can run ads against these lists. You can target these people. You go in and create an ad. Let's say you want them to like your page. And then you choose the list here. Here's my list. I was just referencing your location. Actually, I want to remove that because I want it to be national. Well, let's just say I want United States. Target your location. Or let's even say I just wanted to target, South Florida or Fort Lauderdale. Whoever's on this list in Fort Lauderdale, because I know they're in my backyard. So that's going to be a really, it's fewer than 1,000 people, but it's a laser focused targeting. So those people are the people you want to target in your area. So you can say something like, looking for a great agency in Fort Lauderdale, check out Experience Advertising or whatever agency it is. And you can even get even more granular with interests and behaviors, and then you put your daily budget on it or lifetime budget and what you're looking for, page likes or clicks. I like doing it by page likes. Then you can name it, you can enter your images, you can even advertise a video like we were talking about. And real quick, let's just say I just want to use this image. Boom, there it is. You customize this copy right here. Customize the copy in the ad. This is just to like the page. So it says like here, and then place order, and you're done. 5 minutes later or 15 minutes later, it's live. So that's as easy as to target. And what it is, a custom audience, when you're targeting your email list of previous buyers, that's a retention strategy. That's a customer loyalty strategy. That's trying to get people you've already sold to or use your service back using you again. So, and that a lot of times there's a lot of profit in those orders because they've already done business with you, so they're likely to do business again if it's a repeat type of thing. If it's not a repeat type of thing, like if they're a roofing company and you sell them a roof, they're not going to need a new roof. But that's the type of, they wouldn't use it. But let's say you do flooring as well. So then you can target the roofing customers with flooring offer or flooring ad, that type thing, and get them to inquire and give an estimate and put them into the sales process, etc., and handle it like that. So that's just a way to leverage your previous customers into repeat buyers. We talked about boosted posts, right?
Yep. Yeah, we talked.
Do you want me to go through on or
Well,
no?
you went
Do you want
through
me
and
to,
you went through it in the Ads Manager.
okay. Let's show Facebook offers because this is actually pretty effective. So you come here. I'm an admin of the page, so I have these options. If you have to be an admin of the page to have these options, otherwise they won't be there. So, okay, so you come in and you put in weekly offer, get half off. For instance, something, or even you could do something like Facebook half, something like that. So you can target it. You pick your images, you pick your time frame, how many, let's say I only want to do 10 of them, the first 10, when it's going to expire. Let's say I want to make it run for the rest of the month. You can also bring them to a website where people will redeem the offer. You can have some T's and C's. I won't put in a website here. I click create offer. And it's going to post it to the page. There it is. Get half off of the coupon. And this doesn't really make sense because I don't really do that type of offer. I was just using it as an example. Um, and so what they would do is they would come in here and click Get Offer. Um, yep, I can share it. I'm not going
And
to do
then when
that because I
somebody
don't want
takes
it to.
advantage of the offer, then people will see it.
They will, and
They're telling.
it emails them as well. So I'm going to show you right now. It just emailed me the offer. I'm going to show you what they would receive. This is the consumer, what they get when they see. There it is. Here it is. And you can like the offer. And so this would be the, they'd have the coupon, so now they can use it at your business. You can like the offer, you can share the offer. It's nice, especially because it emails them a copy of it, so it gets in their inbox right from Facebook. They don't even have to enter the email because Facebook already has their email. Yep, and that's Facebook offers.
Cool. Oh, and sweepstakes, your favorite thing, Evan.
Tell me about it.
Evan says
As
if
I
you don't
say,
have a sweepstakes, you don't have a social media strategy.
you're darn right. The nice thing about sweepstakes, especially if you use an app, if you use a Facebook app like WooBox, and I'll show you. Here's some examples of some sweepstakes. This is typically what it looks like. The reason you use an app like WooBox, it's a Facebook app, is that when you use a Facebook app, it gives you more tools to facilitate the sweepstakes, like inviting your friends, entering email to enter, tweeting for bonus entries. If friends enter, you get bonus entries. Without using a Facebook app to run your sweepstakes, if you were to just throw up a page on your site and say, give us your email and enter our sweepstakes to win something, it doesn't go viral because you don't have those sharing options that the app brings to it. So for $29 a month, essentially, using an app like this, it brings a ton more functionality, and you get all these wonderful features. Rewards for referrals, collecting emails, custom form fields, open graph action sharing, that's tapping into all your friends. You can have custom entry forms, which are, you can have a custom form design and use it on the landing page. You can embed it into your website. It's just mobile compatible. I mean, tons of functionality for running a sweepstakes. Here's a live one. Let's just see. So this is an actual live sweepstakes. And the sweepstakes anyone out there would run. It's in another language. Let's not use that one. Let's use this one. Boom, pick a pop. Perfect. So here's your sweepstakes. They're giving away some nice little prizes there. So they fill out the entry form. This is an example of what someone would have to fill out to enter the sweepstakes. A lot of times when I run them, I only ask for people to enter their email and like the page. This is asking a lot of information of people, and then you may lose some people. But they have reasons for doing that. They want this data so they can market to the person a little more dramatically than just collecting their email address. So here's one. Here's a typical. So you're gonna win a knife. Okay, wonderful. So basically, the user has to like the page, and that shares it on the wall. So that's viral right there. And then they enter your email. You're entered. And now I want to gain bonus entries. Sharing it to my wall, I get bonus entries. Inviting some of my friends. This is why I want to invite Kate because she, likes knives. I find Kate. I send her an invite. Now Kate's going to get that in her Facebook messages. And then for more bonus entries, I can even share it on Twitter. And see, this message they've customized already, so you just literally have to click tweet. Done. I've just tweeted this out, and I got bonus entries. So then it keeps track of all the entries. And then at the end of the sweepstakes, however long it runs, you can go in and it'll randomly pick the winners for you. It has an automatic um, random winner picker tool, and so you don't have to bother with that. And then at the end of the sweepstakes, you can download the entire database of all the people's email addresses that entered, and you can send them an email and say, "Thank you for entering our sweepstakes. Here's a special promotion for our store. Hope to do business with you. We're going to be running another sweepstakes soon. You have another chance to win. Have a great day. Thank you." So sweepstakes are just fabulous because, and you can also promote them. You can boost them and advertise them. And you can also advertise them on your website, which is another way to collect data. Going to a website and seeing enter here to win an iPad is a very motivating thing for people, and they're very likely to click that and enter the sweepstakes, and so you get their email and you get them to like your page on Facebook. Even if they don't buy, you've collected their data. It's just another data collection tool that you can then send them a follow-up later, and that increases your overall website conversion rate just because you've given yourself an opportunity to market to more of your visitors. And it's just another great tool for collecting visitor data on your website from all your website traffic, which is important when you're paying money to drive traffic to your website. You want to do things like run a sweepstakes because you are spending that money and you want to squeeze every last penny out of it. So getting them to enter their email like your Facebook page is just another strategy towards that end. So
Evan's super passionate about sweepstakes.
Sweepstakes. And people love entering sweepstakes.
Yes.
Okay. If you watch TV for any period of time, you'll probably see within an hour 3 sweepstakes commercials. Enter to win a truck. Enter to win a trip to Hawaii. I mean, companies use them because they work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's fun. I mean, you have to give away a really good prize. If you're in it, you can get different partners or different people to participate, like different clients and stuff. If that makes sense, you can always bring in other people, because that's the biggest thing too. You can't say a sweepstakes didn't work if you were trying to give away, a free consultation package or something that's boring. It's got to be exciting.
The more exciting the prize, the more exciting the prize, the better. And don't be cheap. Don't be cheap with your sweepstakes. Well, you can give away $100 gift card to Amazon.com.
Well, $100 is a nice amount, but yeah, it's got to be at that.
You can give all the companies they'll give away a gift certificate to their spa or their gym, or a gift certificate they could use at the business that's running the sweepstakes. And then you can have multiple prizes. That's nice too. So more than one person wins, and they feel like they have more of a shot of winning.
Yeah.
If there's multiple prizes, so that's important too. And sweepstakes. The nice thing, bottom line, the nice thing about sweepstakes is they create excitement.
Yes.
They're fun. When we talk about having an engaging social media strategy, sweepstakes liven everything up. They make it fun. There's some winning involved. There's some chance of winning involved. Mm-hmm. So instead of just read our latest post or have a great Monday, those things are fine. Those things are great. It's just another thing to post. When you advertise a sweepstakes, and it's a really good strategy to advertise a sweepstakes to people that don't like you on Facebook yet, because that's pulling in all fresh data. Those people you don't have any relationship with yet as a business, and once you get them to opt in and like your page, you're creating that opportunity to follow up with them and send them a coupon to come and use the gym or spa or flower shop or whatever it may be. And so you're using it as a customer acquisition tool to people that are completely unfamiliar with your business, with the targeting options on Facebook. So that's a really nice way to both build your email list, your likes on Facebook, and also get some customers out of it. Yeah. So Do you want to
So
address
our
this?
so I mean this we went through the measurement of, what you should be measuring. It's the same thing with all of this stuff. You really need to be tracking in Facebook Ads Manager what you're spending, how much you're spending, what is the cost per click, cost per click, the engagement that you're seeing. This is never any kind of advertising you do, it's never a set it and forget it kind of a thing. You need to be constantly going in and
Right.
seeing what's working and what's not. Even with your posts, like seeing some of the organic posts that got more likes and or shares, and that's how to do more posts like that, or to do another sweepstakes, or to run that same offer because it did well. So making sure that you're actually tracking the data is so important with any advertising, and Facebook is no exception. Especially, even with being able to run different kinds of ads, like as Evan showed you, there's a lot of different advertising opportunities that you can take advantage of. So seeing which things work best and being able to spend your money where you're seeing the most results is extremely important. And just like their advertising options, Ads Manager is really easy to look at and to analyze. They make it
Right.
easy
And
to see.
they also have a thing called conversion tracking. Okay. With their Facebook. So what this allows you to do, this allows you to set up a what they call a pixel on your website. Let's say you're looking for leads. These campaigns right here. These conversion campaigns are so if someone filled out a form on my website and they're interested in more information, that would count as a conversion. So then you can see which campaigns are leading to the most inquiries on your website. And if you're selling things on your website, you can do the same thing. You can see how many sales were being brought in from each advertising campaign you're running. And it allows you to what they call optimize your campaigns. If you see a campaign performing really well, you can look to scale it and do more with it. If you see it not bringing in so many conversions, you can minimize it or get rid of it altogether. And by doing that, it's sort of it's very much a trial and error kind of exercise. But by doing that over time, you'll find out which images work best, which copy works best, which landing pages, which targeting options work best through using conversion tracking. And it's you can also throw in, coupon code tracking as well, dedicated phone numbers in the ads. The conversion tracking adds up the number of conversions on your campaign. So it's just another way to measure effectiveness. And companies, this is probably the number one way companies do this. So if you come in here and you go to create a pixel, so see these are the different things you can measure. The checkouts, which are orders on the website, registrations, which are like registering for an event or just registering for the site, leads, which is submitting a contact form that they're interested in the service, key page views. These are just people that went to a certain page. So you can say, oh, how many people went to About Us, or how many people went to our testimonials page, and it'll allow you to measure that. People just adding to the cart, which, I don't think is that pivotal, but you know, everything we usually do is targeted towards sales or leads, which are actual orders and people doing business. But you can target people just adding items to the cart if you so wanted to. So that and the nice thing about Facebook too is they have really good help section. So this page right here is going to tell you exactly how to create the pixel, what are conversions, how to set up the tracking, how to see the reporting. Facebook has done a phenomenal job of creating a really good help section, and you can get there through here, through facebook.com/business. You can they'll literally walk you through, online sales, local sales, promoting your app, getting app installs, brand awareness, and, success stories, how to do different things. They have phenomenal help. They're you can get them on the phone sometimes, but they have great online help. And listen, they have a million companies advertising with them. So to provide phone support with all those people would be a very monumental task. So they do it all online. Mostly, you can get them on the phone at times, but this section is really good for, learning how to use Facebook ads to your advantage. And yeah, so they've done a great job of building out their advertiser help section. Hmm.
So that is a lot of stuff for advertising. But as you can see,
Sure.
this is why it's so helpful to have Evan on the calls because he is very knowledgeable in all of the different types of advertising that you can do online and all the different options that you have. So Evan, thank you so much for taking the time to be on the call and walk through so many awesome examples and details of all the different types of advertising that we talked about today. So moving forward, and if you have any questions or anything, Evan is available. I'm available. So if you have any questions or you want to walk through some of the ads that you're doing, or you're not really sure how much you should be spending, or you have some specific questions, please reach out to us and let us know for sure. So for this week, we are going to have you focus on creating your list of keywords. So like we talked about in Google, spending some time to see what those keywords are that you really want to be ranked for and found for on page one. And then try to boost a post or create a Facebook ad. So designed specifically to have people either like your page, or maybe you do have a specific offer or something that you want people to take advantage of. So take some time to craft one of those. And the nice piece about it is if you're boosting a post, you can spend $5 or $10 on the post just to start getting some interaction and start to see what happens and then being able to track it. Of course, you're going to come up with your 3 to 5 action items to complete by the end of the week. And be sure to share those with me and also post them in the Facebook group so we know what you have going on moving forward for this week. So thank you guys again for being on the call. And Evan, cannot thank you enough. Thank you for all of the great information that you provided today as we talked about online advertising.
My pleasure. My
All right.
pleasure.
Well,
Talk to you soon.
thank you guys. Have a great week and we'll talk soon.